Traylon Burks is officially drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the first round, and the Titans traded up to get him. So we're going to do a little recap and talk about the situation that Traylon Burks finds himself over there in Tennessee. This is the Locked On Razorbacks podcast.
You are Locked On Razorbacks, your daily podcast on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome into Locked On Razorbacks podcast. I am your host, John Neighbors. I am also the host of Out of Bounds. You can catch every weekday afternoon from 1 to 4 on 103.7 The Buzz and 103.7thebuzz.com. So I'm doing this late at night. That's why I got my ring light or whatever on. So it's so looks kind of funny in where it's at. But anyways, the Razorbacks have a first round draft pick finally after a long drought, and it is Traylon Burks. So I just wanted to do this. It's not going to be a full podcast or anything like that, but I did want to put up something on video and everything, just to have a recap, because actually tomorrow's podcast, we're having Matt Goodhart, Razorback baseball player, on to join us, and it kind of just, the timing was just off. But anyways, so I wanted to put this up there and to just kind of dive into it of Traylon Burks and what he's going to end up being for the Tennessee Titans as they drafted him. And moved up to draft him because it was actually part of a trade where A.J. Brown, their wide receiver, they traded him to the Eagles, where he's getting $100 million deal. And they drafted Traylon Burks instead, which a lot of people, myself included, feel like he's going to be a perfect little put right in there to replace A.J. Brown. Now, a lot of wide receivers were taken in front of Traylon Burks. He was not the number one overall wide receiver taken. In fact, there were way too many wide receivers taken in front of him. But either way, I think that it's a good situation, because there were other picks that were coming in where if you're going to go to an NFL team, especially if you're a wide receiver, you want to, I said this yesterday and I'll say it again today, that if you want to be a wide receiver that goes to a football team that actually knows what the crap they're doing, in a franchise that knows what they're doing, that has success. Now, am I going to sit here and say that Ryan Tannehill is the greatest quarterback that Traylon Burks could have gone to and played with? No. But the Tennessee Titans is a really good organization and a team that was a great team in the regular season last year and went to the playoffs now. They did lose to the Bengals by 3 points. Know that totally, but they went 12-5 last year in the regular season. They won their division outright. And it certainly seems like Mike Vrabel has done a really good job with him as well. So I think it's a good situation for him. And it was kind of funny, too, just seeing the reactions that people were giving, as well as the storylines that they were doing, talking about his hog hunting and everything. But I could be wrong about this. I could be wrong because, again, I'm just kind of been watching all over, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, somebody's going to let me know about it, and I'll have to beg forgiveness, so I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure that he was the first pick of the draft that did not or was not there in Vegas. Like, he was doing it from his home here in Arkansas, or at least his hometown. Like, he wasn't in Vegas. He was here in Arkansas. I think he was the first one to not actually be there. Again, I could be wrong, but I think it just kind of tells you about him and the type of player that he will be, where he's one of my favorite players. Like, he's one of my favorite Razorbacks to ever come through here for many different reasons, but his talent definitely is one of them. But one of the things that I really have always liked about him is he's just a simple, hardworking guy. And I don't mean that to sound in an insulting way, because it's not at all. It's just you could just tell he doesn't care about the flash and pizzazz of, going to Vegas and having the crazy suits on and, having the marketing guys with him and all that stuff. Like, he's just a football player, and he just kind of wants to be comfortable in his own zone and in his own element. And that's not something that's for him. Like, he's not the type that's just going to, he wants to do what everybody else is doing and go over in Vegas and party it up and have the flash and the outfit and all that. He's just a guy who wants to play football and wants to help his team win. And that's what makes him such a great player, not only when he was at Arkansas, but what he will be with the Tennessee Titans. I think people are going to be surprised just how good this guy is. I think that they're going to put him in different positions too, to get him the ball, like maybe do like a Deebo Samuel type thing where they have him at the running back position and, they hand it off to him, they pitch it out to him or whatever it may be. They're going to find a bunch of various different things in different ways to do this. And so, like, when I'm watching this and I'm watching his highlights once again, and they show him up on the TV and everything, I mean, the guy's incredible. And that's why I was like, I get that people may get all obsessed with other wide receivers that are in the draft, some other guys that they may feel better about, or, whether it's Dotson or Drake London or whatever. Fine, have those guys. But to me, Burks is the whole package. He's got the speed, he's got the strength, he's got the athleticism, he's got the size, he's got the ability to block down field. He's got a workhorse mentality where it's not about him. He's not a diva. He's not going to be a diva wide receiver that we've seen so many times. He's going to do whatever it takes to help the team win. If that means him going for 500 yards in a game or getting no yards in a game, whatever it helps his team wins, that's what he's going to do. And so with that full package that he has, I just see no way, shape, or form that he is not successful with the Tennessee Titans big time. Like, I'm talking about, like, he ends up being their wide receiver one, their best wide receiver, more than likely when he steps foot in that franchise, because he's going to have some expectations to go along with him. And I appreciate and respect the Titans for doing what they did. Obviously, A.J. Brown, letting him go, that's a big trade. That's a big story. But trading up to get Burks and to get him in that position obviously shows that they are big fans of him too, and obviously feel really good about what he can bring to the table. So much so that they would be willing to make the trade for AJ Brown and feel comfortable and confident enough to get Burks, to have him bring in, or you get him a lot cheaper than what the Eagles are going to be paying for, because they're like doing I think it's like $100 million or whatever it is. Like, they are going all in on him. I like the Titans and getting him there with what they have going on too. So, and it's also pretty close in proximity. There's only a few teams that are actually close. Kansas City's one of them. Dallas is one of them. New Orleans is one of them, and the Titans are one of them. And so to have them close by is going to be cool for anyone that's going to be making the trips out there. And there's probably a lot of Titan fans that are in the listening audience that are probably Razorback fans too. I'm sure you're ecstatic and you're excited about the prospect of him and what he's going to be able to do with the Titans. But I'm just happy. I'm just happy that they were able to make this work and that they were able to actually make Treylon Burks like in a position to where he goes with a good franchise, because that's what he deserves. I felt like for so many years, whenever Arkansas had a skill position player that was highly sought after, most of the time they went to an absolute dumpster fire of a franchise, or a franchise that was notoriously not great. And it just never seemed to really get anything, like when Jacksonville drafted Matt Jones, it was kind of one of those franchises that was fine, but wasn't going to really make anything sexy about it. Darren McFadden going to the Raiders was extremely disappointing. Even quarterbacks going to, Tyler Wilson, when he went to the Raiders, that was a weird thing. And the franchise that they had over there too. And I think actually Tyler played with the Titans a little bit as well. But yeah, it always seemed like they were just never going to the franchises you wanted them to go with, or that they deserve to go to. But this is one that I think that it works out. I was really kind of thinking that the Packers were going to take him. I know that was something that they had talked about a lot, and the possibility of going after Burks, bringing him to help out Aaron Rodgers. That would have been a pretty sick thing to pull off if they decided to go that route or to do that. But instead, he goes to the Titans. And I saw his video where he's with his family and is with his fiance, which is awesome. And, he's obviously a really happy guy too. And, it's just, I don't know. I'm still going to be a beleaguered Jets fan, which, I think I like what they've done in the draft so far in the first round. But I am going to be rooting for the Titans. I'm going to be rooting for Treylon Burks, and I can't wait to see him get there. Because, again, I literally, truly think that he is going to wow some people and open up some eyes and surprise many with his ability right off the bat as soon as he walks in on campus. And one of the most, and I hate to even bring it up because I know it's old and people are probably sick and tired of even bringing it up or talking about it, but the fact that Chad Morris had this dude for a year as a freshman, and he did not catch a touchdown pass. Like, if you ever needed any indication how horrible Chad Morris was, take it from there. Because as soon as Sam Pittman and Kendall Briles walked in, they're like, okay, yeah, this guy's good, so let's get him the ball a lot. And they did. And that's what really elevated his game and made him into the great wide receiver that he is today. So congratulations to the Tennessee Titans. Congratulations to all you Titans fans out there. I know that this was something that you probably were really excited about, and rightfully so. But I can't wait to see what he does in Titans uniform. And I know we'll hear from him. We'll get some ideas from him, what he's thinking for his future there with Tennessee. And, it's just awesome. So anyways, I wanted to give a quick reaction video and podcast, or at least audio, however you want to put it. It's not a full podcast, but I just wanted to give a quick reaction to Treylon Burks being drafted and the greatness that he's going to bring to the Tennessee Titans. It's pretty awesome. So anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, Google Play. Check us out on YouTube, obviously, and making that possible as well. And again, Matt Goodhart is going to be coming on, joining us tomorrow on the podcast, talk a little baseball with him. And I'm looking forward to that because he's got a lot of opinions on the things that the Razorback baseball team is doing, and also a lot of opinions on what Razorback baseball fans are saying. So it'll be a great one. But either way, enjoy the rest of the night. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll be right back here tomorrow. Tighten up. Treylon Burks. You guys got a steal over there in Tennessee. Congratulations, man.